Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time we're stepping into a world of magic and mayhem and a little bit of Shakespeare thrown in for good measure.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. We're going deep into Terry Pratchett's Wyrd Sisters. It's the 6th book in the Discworld series.
Ah, Discworld. A flat planet balanced on the backs of 4 elephants, who in turn stand on a giant turtle.
Precisely. It's pure genius. But in Wyrd Sisters specifically, Pratchett really blends fantasy and humor with some really pointed social commentary.
That sounds like a potent mix. Where do we even begin to unpack all that?
Well, I think the best place to start is with Granny Weatherwax. You know, she's kind of like the heart and soul of this story. She's not your stereotypical, cackling, wart-nosed witch.
Right, more like the anti-stereotype, right?
Exactly. I mean, she's practical, she's fiercely independent, and she commands respect from pretty much everyone. I mean, even the forces of nature seem to take a step back when Granny Weatherwax is around.
She's got this down-to-earth wisdom, a kind of moral compass.
Yeah, almost like an iron girder.
A good example of that is when she stands up to the corrupt Duke, knowing full well what the consequences could be. Imprisonment, maybe worse. But for her, right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of the risk.
And that really sets the tone for the whole story. She's not just powerful, she's principled.
Absolutely. And she's not alone in this adventure, of course. We have the delightful duo of Nanny Ogg and Magrat Garlic rounding out our coven of, unconventional witches.
Yeah, talk about contrasting personalities. I mean, Nanny Ogg, she's full of life, loves a good time, and her humor is, let's just say it's colorful.
Colorful is one way to put it. She's a wonderful counterpoint to Granny's stoicism.
Yeah, and then there's Magrat, bless her heart. She's earnest, idealistic, still trying to figure out where she fits in among these two forces of nature.
The dynamic between the 3 of them is really where a lot of the humor comes from. Their personalities clash, they bicker, they support each other. It's like watching a family sitcom unfold with a magical twist.
It is. But, it's not all fun and games. I mean, these witches find themselves smack dab in the middle of some serious political turmoil. A king is murdered. His baby heir is missing. It's a whole Shakespearean drama unfolding.
And this is where Pratchett's genius shines, right? He takes this classic plot, something out of Macbeth or maybe even Hamlet, and he injects it with his own brand of wit and absurdity.
He really turns those classic tropes on their heads.
He does. And yet, beneath all the humor, there's real depth. The political intrigue is a way for him to explore the nature of power, how it corrupts, how it seduces, the responsibility that comes with wielding it.
Yeah, it's not just a parody. There's real social commentary woven in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Shakespearean parallels, they don't stop at the plot. Even the characters themselves, they're often these clever nods to Shakespeare's iconic creations. Take the Fool, for instance.
Oh, yeah. In Macbeth, he's this tragic figure, right? Aware of the darkness, but helpless to stop it.
Right. But in Wyrd Sisters, the Fool is hilarious. He's insightful. He's this constant commentator on the ridiculousness of human behavior, especially when it comes to the pompous and the powerful.
It's like Pratchett saying, hey, the world might be a mess, but let's at least laugh at it while we try to fix it.
Absolutely. And it all comes back to the witches. They're these seemingly ordinary women, but their actions, a whisper here, a nudge there, they end up having a profound impact. They literally changed the course of history for an entire kingdom.
And I think there's a real takeaway for us there. How often do we underestimate the power of our own actions, right? A small act of kindness, a decision to speak up against injustice, it can create these ripples that spread far beyond what we can imagine.
It's like the butterfly effect, except with witches and magic, and a healthy dose of humor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, to our listeners, if you're looking for a book that's going to make you laugh, make you think, and maybe even make you want to grab a broomstick and fly off into the sunset, give Wyrd Sisters a try. It's a wild ride, but it's so worth it.
You won't regret it. Dive into Discworld. It's a world unlike any other.
And that's our deep dive on Wyrd Sisters. See you all next time for another adventure.
Until then.
Bye.
Bye.